Welcome back to the Underdog Jets podcast, or as I'd like to call it tonight, a therapy session with number 80. Because Wayne, I know you were locked in yesterday. I know you heard about the news today. Jets fans out there, they're just shaking their heads saying, oh, the pain. Why me? Why every year? Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. I can't believe they're doing this to me. Breece Hall out for the year with an ACL. On top of that, AVT, torn triceps, out for the year, who I think is their best player, AVT. What do you got to say? Lead the therapy off.
I know it sounds like therapy, but we don't have to whine about it, man. We still got a team. We still got a season. I understand where your head's at, and it's very sad because these two young guys were special and they've done great things so far. But yeah, everybody's gonna have the same mentality and feeling right now as you had when you started. But we still should be upbeat. You're all somber. We still should be upbeat. We're 5-2. Like I said, big losses, but it's the next man up kind of a thing now. And next guy's got to get up there and do the job.
It's funny. Before the game, I made a couple comments. Tipping my hat to how they prevented injuries. We talked about it in August too. Solid knocking on wood on the podium.
Yeah.
The injury prevention program they brought in, Dr. Brad DeWeese, it's paid dividends. They've really turned the ship there. And this weekend it did a 180. I mean, what can you do? It's part of the game.
Yeah.
What I want to tell fans is this. Does it stink? Yes. Breece Hall is special talent, AVT. I love the guy. Again, I think he's so important. But when the organization starts doing right things, shit happens with these injuries, but stuff kind of turns out the way you want it to. Things have a funny way of working out for the better when you start doing the right things. And I think that's where this organization is.
Yeah. They're in a situation where obviously they have cap space. They've accumulated draft picks with some of the great trades that Joe Douglas has done. Got a lot of young talent that some teams would be interested in to trade for a lineman or a running back. So we're in a good position. It is terrible, man. I mean, it's when I saw the news on about Breece, I thought it was bad when I saw it on the game, but then hear about Vera-Tucker. Yeah, it sucks, and things have been going so well for us, but injuries is a part of being in the NFL. You just got to adjust. So we'll see what Joe does, but we got the guys on the roster that could do it, and they just have to take it upon themselves and take care of the opportunity.
Yeah. And, speaking about the game, Zach Wilson, it wasn't one of his finest efforts. There were a lot of spots early where Denver guessed early against the play action. They had some free runners that Zach, and folks are quick to hop on LaFleur, criticizing LaFleur. I don't think that's the right way to go here. I mean, is he perfect? No play caller is, but
why are they criticizing LaFleur?
A lot of fans, it's the same trope. The OC always gets that criticism. And Zach is battling, I kind of break down Zach's evaluation this way. In Pittsburgh, when he had to come back down 10, he was free flowing. He was like, okay, I could do this. I could bring our guys back. Not much is expected. That is different from being a quarterback where you're leading in the game, where you're a young quarterback not wanting to make the mistake. So LaFleur's tricky spot is trying to get him into the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's still tough. It's still, hard going. I really haven't dove into the film yet, but not a great day by Zach. I think LaFleur was okay, considering all the injuries that happened. I mean, they're not putting shackles on him. The first series, what did they do against Denver, who plays a lot of too deep stuff where they dare you to run 3 passes? Zach Wilson missed a guy on the first play, on the third play as well. So they're not putting the shackles on him, I don't think. What do you think?
No, I think they're letting him play. They're using the whole playbook. And I see comments, and I'm not going to react to stupid comments, or like, I wish Zach was hurt instead of these guys, or, as soon as we get Zach, we'll be all right. It's just stupid comments. He's our quarterback. He's going to be our quarterback. He's 4-0 this year.
Yeah, he's 4-0.
And you're telling me he's not a good player or he's not the future. That's just stupid comments. This is nonsense. And the people I think who are commenting like that aren't true fans. You know what I mean? He's a high pick. He's done everything the team wanted him to do. He's a great Jet on and off the field. They're 4-0. He's young. I mean, where's the negative in him being our starting quarterback? I don't get why people say that. That's my little rant. But yeah, Zach's doing a great job for what they're letting him do. And like I said, the sky's the limit for the guy.
Yeah, it's going to take some time to find their identity and rediscover their identity now without Breece, without AVT. You got to understand, at some point in the huddle yesterday, and Zach said it after the game to the media, he looked around. He's like, where the hell is everyone? Just joking around.
Yeah.
And he also said, among other things, quote, time to grow a pair, unquote. So he was trying to lead these guys. It was an interesting situation. And the Elijah Moore stuff, too. We haven't touched on that yet because we got together, last Monday? And then it kind of broke after that. Wayne, what do you got to say about Elijah Moore?
Yeah. One sec. See, this from Nick Nova. It said this wouldn't hurt as bad if we didn't have expectations. We need to rally together as fans and as a team. Yeah, that's the thing. There's expectations. Expectations weren't there at the beginning of the year. And we need to rally together as fans and team. Yes, we do. We got to support the team in what they do. But the expectations are there now. So that should tell you how good we're doing.
Yeah.
Season's not lost. There are expectations there because the team has done so well. That's the great thing about it. And as far as being 5-2 and having Alijah come in and, requesting a trade and he's not playing. I mean, he went a game without a target. We're actually got targeted, but it was a penalty. I mean, Mims came in. I know he got a bad penalty, but, if he doesn't want to be here, I don't know if they can get for him, if anything. But if they want to trade him to try to get another running back in here, fine. We don't want people there that don't want to be wearing green and white.
Yeah, and the way Salah handled it, I thought was top notch.
Smart, yeah.
I mean, you try to let it blow over the initial frustration. You talk to him. From all reports, it didn't go well with him and LaFleur.
Right.
They sent him home on that Thursday, I think it was. And then that's when he requested the trade and leaked it to, who was it, Schefter or Rappaport? I think it was Rappaport, one of the two. And it stunned the Jets, to be honest. And you just can't have it. You can't have that type of situation, attitude. And the really promising thing, when I go back to the process, when organizations start doing the right things, you could overcome injuries, as disappointing as they are. These younger Jets players were sending messages, public messages. Sauce did, Will Parks, AVT, that the team is bigger and the team structure matters. And if it's one guy, I mean, it's a really good thing that it's just one guy that is not in line right now.
It's just timing. The timing.
The timing was just
it's so selfish.
Yeah.
It's so selfish, man. And I was a fan of the guy. Now listen.
Me too.
I do not know the whole situation. I wasn't behind the closed doors with the meeting with him, LaFleur, or Coach Salah. But from what I read and what I saw, it's very selfish for a guy like that. You can see things are going bad. Hey, you know what? It's going bad. Give me a chance. Let me try to turn this around for you. Not like, oh, it's going great. It's not because of me. I'm selfish. It needs to be because of me. I was a fan. I'm not saying I don't want him on the team necessarily, but he needs to step up and realize this is a team. This isn't a him situation.
Yeah. An eyebrows raised now. I mean, there's no other way to. Yeah.
It's not personal. I mean, get open. And if you're one of the, primary reads, then he'll get it to you. But if you're not open, it's not personal. I don't get why he thinks that. And I hate that players can request a trade no matter what now.
Yeah.
Back when we played, you did your contract, you played out your contract. You shouldn't force a trade on a team.
No. And if you're the Jets, what can you do? Trade him right away? No, because that sends the wrong message. You can't just trade a guy who requests a trade, because then that sends the wrong message. Can you play him? No, you can't do that either. So they handled it the right way by scratching him. Solicity's back with the team now. We'll see how this week goes.
Maybe thought about it. Maybe he slept on it over the weekend and realized, he's young. But why would someone want to trade for a player that would quit on his team and be willing to walk away? Why would you want a guy with that kind of temperament that can't handle bad things happening or not getting the ball. I mean, he's going to be the same way on another team if he doesn't get the ball.
That's the disconnect I see on social media with other fans, is that when for the people who stick up for him, well, he's not getting the ball and he should get this. First of all, he's had 29 targets going into this past week. Corey Davis had 33. Like, it has been very balanced. That's number one. Number two, this is a terrible career move for him. Like, this doesn't do you any favors. You know, that you limit your market. The best thing to do in a team structure is to play the team game. And if you don't do that, you'll still have suitors, no doubt, but you limit those suitors and you limit the options. For example, if he were to just, kept it behind closed doors, didn't go public, he could have had a monster game. That's the ironic part. He could have had a monster game against Denver because of the way they play. So relaxed, cover two, cover four with two deep. Corey Davis going out. Monster game. And they could have really used him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to talk about him. It's just stupid. Stupid that does that. Stupid like Jamal Adams did it. And then he went there and he wasn't happy either. And he's played one game and, got all that contract.
If you look at Joe Douglas's guys that he's going to let go, other than like the veteran guys where he sends them in a good situation, McClendon, Foley, Avery Williamson, Robbie Anderson. I mean, a lot of these guys that he gets rid of are going to have multiple teams after the Jets. Just watch that trend.
So here's some comments. Let's get into that. Mike Kaz, Jets all-time. Breece Hall is a great and unique player. He'll be back next year along with AVT. It'll be a promising year with them back. Yes. Another comment. Enjoy the rest of the season with the team we have. Yes. Stop worrying about what other teams are doing. Other teams are having injuries. You just don't know about it.
Yeah.
It's just, we just happen to have an injury to one of the brightest young stars in the league in Lyman. Expectations are still high. Players are in reach, and with the additional players next year, we'll make it even better. Yeah, the playoffs are still in reach. We have the second best record.
If they go 5-5 the rest of the year, they win 10 games.
What else we got? Mike said definitely agree. So that guy's flaws needs to improve, but I think the coaches have to cater to his development and strength. Yes, I think they could do more to help him out with the quicker throws and
RPOs
and stuff. But he's having trouble with these little touch passes, these intermediate throws, which if that's my biggest knock, is that he's not making those throws to the tight ends and the under guys. His down the field throws are better, but that's the one big knock I have on him is those throws.
Yeah, that, and he doesn't have the confidence when he sees pressure coming to get rid of it in a spot. He tries to break the pocket too quickly rather than knowing where to go in a spot where you could put it in a safe spot, even if it's not going to be complete. There's no rhythm there. 5-step, boom, plant, get rid of it. That's the other thing. Those two things.
Yeah, it's Joe Astorita says, big losses to injury in last game. I feel like Michael Carter will step up, but losing AVT is tough. Yeah, Michael Carter, we're so excited the season he had last year. I don't know what the other running back, I guess Ty Johnson is the other one.
Yep, Ty Johnson. And they're going to bring up Zonovan Knight, who's been on the practice squad. And he had a good August.
Yeah, but AVT, losing him is tough, how versatile he was. And, I mean, he was good at any position he played. I
think he's their most
I don't even know
player.
who's out there they can get. There's got to be a team that's, having a bad season that's looking to unload some guys.
The good news is they have George Fant and Max Mitchell coming back eventually. And then Nate Herbig will just be the rock at right guard. So once they get Fant and Mitchell back, they'll have two guys at right tackle. They just can't afford another injury. Now, listen, does it suck AVT and Breece? They're probably their two best offensive players to go down. Yes. Is this entirely unexpected for an NFL organization? No. Like, running back, it's a physical position. Like, the chances are that running backs get hurt in this league are very high.
Yeah.
So they have the depth. That's the good thing.
Yeah. Next year, their line is going to be awesome.
It is.
Comes back really and the guys are healthy and Becton, comes in. Mike said Elijah Moore just lost so many marketing opportunities and jersey sales. Got poor advice, unfortunately, for him. Yes, he got poor advice. I don't think this is something on his own. I think he talked to some of the people in his circle, and like he said, whatever they came up with wasn't the right way. But yeah,
Yeah.
losing marketing opportunities in jersey sales. You play in New York, and the way the fans kind of took to them, and I saw a lot of more jerseys out there. And then I've also seen people, not wearing them anymore now, or talking about, they're going to throw it out, and the guy's still on the team. So what if they keep? I mean, it's just anything he does now is tainted because he tried to force their hand. I mean, it's a bad situation. I don't know how to get it back to where it was pre trade me comment. I mean, can you
He
go back
has
to that?
to. For the people who said it's not salvageable, listen, it's going to be in the back of Douglas's and Salah's mind and the locker room's mind, no doubt. But it is salvageable if he does a complete 180 and he's
Yeah.
contrite and he apologized to everyone one-on-one. That's what it would take.
Hey, dude, come up with an excuse. This was just something going on in my life. This was this, I didn't think it through and I said it.
Yeah.
Understandable. But
Hmm.
I don't know. Has he spoken publicly since it would have been just today that he missed the game. I mean, he's going to have to go in front of the microphone and say, I was wrong.
Yeah,
Essentially.
they're going to have to
I just
make him
want to play.
available
I
this
just want to
week.
help. I just want to play. I'll do whatever it takes. Let's move on. I can deal with that. I can accept that.
Yeah. I saw a comment here. I lost. Oh, Twisted says, Wayne, please knock some sense into these people. He's doing it, folks. He's doing a good job.
Here, Nick Nova. We
Yeah.
all went to this season hoping for progress, and our expectations have been blown out of the water. Sal and JD are building something really special. They are building something special. And more quicker than I think people realize how they're doing it. I mean, they're just a couple drafts in, and you look at the guys they've gotten. I mean, just the two we're talking about, Alijah and Vera-Tucker and Zach, and then this year's draft. I mean, they're hitting home runs, man. So yeah, it's a process. They're building something special, and then I believe in these guys. I have no complaints over Coach Sal and Joe Douglas and ownership and what they've done so far. Jet fans should be excited.
David Stein with the voodoo dolls. Who's David Stein?
I don't know.
I was thinking Giselle put a hex on Brady in the Bucks, though. That's one thing I was thinking this past weekend.
What's that?
Yeah. Giselle put a hex with a voodoo doll on Brady and the Bucks. The way they've been going.
To Brady. Listen, you got two XFL guys that beat Hall of Fame quarterbacks this week. You get Walker, PJ Walker, throwing to some guy I never heard of.
Heineke.
McCaffrey gone and Robbie Anderson traded, and they beat Tampa, like crushed Tampa with this quarterback and this that. And I'm not saying the kid can't play. It just expectations wise. But anybody could beat anybody on any given day, man.
Yeah, and in Brady's kryptonite, we see it. It's interior pressure. When his center, Ryan Jensen, went down earlier this year, it kind of flew under the radar, and he's getting hit up the middle. So that's really killing him right now.
Here, Ken C. Chrebet is great. He is so right. Jets fans need to chill the fuck out. Yes, chill out. Listen, I love my Jet fans. I love everything about my Jet fans. I'll be a Jet fan till the day I die. I bleed green. But it's just, we're going to be terrible. We're going to be terrible. Oh, we're great. And then now complaining about this and that. Be happy. We're 5-2, man. I know we've lost people over the years. We lose players. Everybody's just so excited about Breece Hall. Listen, that run he had, I mean, he's like shot out of a can. Like, I mean, we haven't. When's the last time we had a 60-yard touchdown run on this team?
It's been a while.
People don't realize the year that Curtis Martin led the league in rushing, he didn't have one rush over 20 yards. He just pounded away. 15.
Yeah, 2004. Yeah.
This is, and Michael Carter's done it last year too. So yeah, let's just be sad, but understand this kid will be back next year.
Let me say it like this. I'm writing something right now, which is like a public PSA for Jets fans. Yeah, yes. You're going to need a day. You're going to need 24 to 48 hours to process this. Yes, for sure. But think about the process and what this organization has done. For once, maybe the fan base can come together and hop on the optimistic train. The t-shirt Salah had made up, positive vibes only in camp all summer long. People will snicker at it. I just want to see results. Culture what? We just need talent. We just need results. That stuff is real. And yes, these injuries hurt. Yes, it's going to be an uphill climb, but what if the fan base actually hopped aboard this positive train for once?
Yeah.
Could that actually help? Just that's something to think about moving forward.
Here's a comment from J.E. Curtis Martin was never injured. False.
Oh.
Curtis Martin was hurt so many years. He wore every pad. It was like Pop Warner. He had the hip pads on, the ass pad, this pad, that pad. He wore every single pad to where at the end of his career, he had complete bone on bone in his knees, no cartilage, and he was out there. I mean, he played till he couldn't walk.
I knew
you could see him after the games. He couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
So he was hurt. He just played through it. You can't play through torn ACL.
No,
but he was hurt. For people think that he wasn't.
Yeah, I knew the commenter was trying to, pat Martin on the back, like, hey, he's never been hurt. What a warrior. But yeah, I know he was hurt. We have a super chat. We have a couple super chats here. Nose kills, 60% guys. The offense struggled, but turns out there was still 60% more crap the football gods had in store for us with injuries. We are in deep water, finding out if we can swim.
6% golf is it.
Yeah, I don't know what the 60% is, but thanks for the super chat, nose kills. And listen, it's gonna take a day or two to process it. But listen, you gotta hop on the train. Stay on the train. You can't give up. There's just no reason to give up right now. 5-2, 4 straight wins. They're playing well without quarterback production, folks. Imagine they get quarterback production and they figure something out through the air. Just think about that.
It says, we are in deep water, finding out if we can swim. I think that's what Sal said about dragging people
into
the deep water. Yes. Listen, we're going to find out. Jet fans, it's always interesting, man. It's never easy.
Got another super chat from Bluto. Thank you. Wayne, as a smaller receiver yourself, talk about playing out wide versus the slot. This is a popular question. And how a receiver like Moore should be used with the Jets to best utilize his skills. This is something that comes up. People, when Moore complain publicly, they notice that Garrett Wilson plays more slot than Moore, like 75%, 25. And I could see why, because Garrett Wilson's excellent in the slot, running routes like a point guard. The things with Garrett Wilson are noticeable when he doesn't get the target running routes. But what do you think about that in terms of slot versus outside Elijah Moore?
You know what's weird is I don't remember a lot of seasons when I played, and a lot of stuff I know is because it's put on social media and put on my page, and I appreciate it. Listen, for any users listening, post plays and games and this and that. I love seeing this stuff. It brings back some memories and everything, and I could actually show my kids I played well when I was playing. But I actually see a lot of highlights of me playing outside.
You did at times, for sure.
I didn't realize how much I played outside. But the thing about Alijah, he could do both inside out. He could do the whole route tree. And like you said, it just wasn't – the game wasn't set up for him some weeks. But this week would have set up nice for him.
Yes, it would have.
And the way he can move him around, it's different playing in the slot. Obviously, there'd be a little more of a technician when it comes to routes. But he could do both. So I don't see why he didn't think his time wouldn't come at some point this season.
Right. Like their pass attempts were so low the last two games, and this game too. It's going to be different with games moving forward. And with Breece Hall going down, don't forget, this is a new league. Look at Deebo Samuel and San Fran. LaFleur comes from San Fran. He gets Berrios involved in the rush game. Right. Moore could do the same stuff with that jet motion. Orbit motion stuff. So, expect Moore and Berrios to get some carries.
Yeah. No, the Berrios needs to get more involved. The other guy's going to have to step up. But Berrios is like one of the X factors, I would say, because he could do so much. He probably do stuff out of the backfield. But, people saying then the Bengals had big injury problems last season. They still made – listen, I feel so sorry for Jet fans waking up today because this, went to bed. So after the game, we're so happy, winning out there. I don't care who's the quarterback, but you wake up today to the news and then the second news with AVT, and I'm compassionate, but I just want to remind you, we're 5-2. If you would have said 5-2 or 4-2 or 3-2 to someone going into the first game of the year, we're playing the AFC South, people would have been over the moon for it.
Yeah.
We still are 5-2. We still got 95% of our teams. So just sorry, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I was in Denver this weekend, and the way Salah was speaking, you knew Breece Hall wasn't good because he came out and said it. But AVT, I think they were still up in the air, and that was a blow to hear that one. That one
Who's
was
that? AVT, yeah.
Yeah, a double whammy. Like that one, they weren't sure.
Okay, Jets 8:30. One needs. Oh no, Jets Carver One needs to fire his agent and publicly apologize. Not gonna fire his agent, but
it's the same agent.
He needs a speech writer to write him something. I want to read this statement. Jets 8:30. Can we give Zerline some love for being ice cold in that stadium and in that?
Zerline was good.
Wind. Yes, you got to give that guy credit. Like it's to the point now where he's kicking, and I feel really good about it. Where sometimes we've had kickers where I'm like, come on, like begging, like please make the field goal. I'm very comfortable with Zerline getting lined up to win a game. If
Braden Mann too. How good was Braden Mann?
He's awesome.
And Sauce Gardner, DJ. The guys who really stood out were the cornerbacks, Sauce, DJ Reed, the special teams, even the coverage special teams. Mosley, Sauce, DJ Reed, Mann, Zerline, I think really took the stage.
Dude, we haven't even talked about anybody but who's injured and who wants to get traded.
I know.
And we
got sucked in. We got pulled in, Wayne.
So they're letting Sauce play a little in hand fight. Like, other penalties they're grabbing. I mean, he grabbed a little, but he's smart. The way he does it and how he gets his hands through the receiver's hands. He did phenomenal. Mosley, Quan's still doing well.
Sauce does it. He makes sure he's not extended when he does it. That's number one. And number two, he already has a reputation for being really good. Think about it. No one looks at him. Not even the officials look at him as a rookie anymore. And when that happens, you're going to get away with more stuff.
Yeah. Quincy, Quinn, I mean, everybody's playing solid on defense. And I know, we just lost two big pieces of our offense, but our defense is intact.
Yeah. And it's arguably the best in the league.
We never thought we were going to score 40 points a game. We're going to have to win some games, 17-14, 14-10. That's the kind of team they are. Going to win ugly most games. Our defense is intact, and it's a top 10 defense, I believe, right now.
Nick Nova, Robbie, I appreciate the comment about taking 24, 48 hours to process this. I felt so many different emotions today, but I'm trying to stay optimistic. Yeah, listen, you can't be extreme one way or the other. You're going to need some time. Consider, think of yourself as Tony Soprano visiting Dr. Melfi today, and then wake up a brand new person tomorrow morning.
Yeah, some of these comments.
Jets carpetbagger, Moore needs to fire his. Oh, you already got that one. Yeah, his agent, and thank you. That was a super chat. Thank you, Jets carpetbagger. His agent is the same one as Deebo Samuel, who also deployed some tactics this past offseason. But the key is he did it in the offseason, which the timing is a lot better.
Wayne being the voice of reason. You know what's funny? And it says, Anthony, hey, Wayne, do you agree that Braxton Berrios is the modern day Wayne Chrebet? And I think we have a lot of the same attributes, and he's a great player, and I'm humbled that he people will remind him of me and stuff like that. But I was at my son's game, and we were talking a little bit, and I don't talk much sports. I don't know the dads and stuff for my son's football team. Mm-hmm. And the guy said, "Can I ask you a question?" He says, "Who was you before you?" And I was like, "That's an interesting question." Because I was never compared to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of like bragging, but in a weird way. But for people to say, "Are they the next you?" I'm humbled by it.
Yeah.
That and I think the kid's special. And he does some things that I didn't even do. I wasn't a returner, stuff like that. So as far as the question, is he the modern day? Yeah, he makes plays, and I love watching him.
There was no real slot corner. I mean, the three receiver sets really didn't get going until the mid 90s. You know, the
It's different, you
yeah,
know.
Charlie Joyner was maybe the first slot guy with the Chargers, but you know, back in the day, there were a lot of like Largent. Largent would have been a great slot guy, but he was in a offense running 2 receiver sets.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I heard was, is Wayne Kmet the next Largent, but just because we're 80, obviously we're both white,
Yeah.
play with no gloves, and that was a great play by Sauce.
Yeah, here it is. I mean, this is and most of the game. Now here's the other thing with Zach Wilson and the offense. Denver's defense is legit. And
Yeah.
you won't get a defense, them in Green Bay 2 weeks in a row, that play too deep, play off so stubbornly against the pass and not let anything over the top, more so than those two defenses. They dare you to run it. They dare you to go underneath. I'm not saying Wilson was good. He was not good. But got to keep that in mind. You can't stretch the field when you're not protecting well, and you can't go over the top. Jets kind of do the same thing. They fall in that same line. But on this third down or fourth down, was it fourth down?
Yeah.
Look at the Jets. They lay all their cards on the table. Hey, we're gonna play aggressive. Our rookie against your stud receiver, DJ Reed against another stud receiver, single high. They just said, hey, this is what we're gonna do and try to beat us. And Sauce came up with a huge play. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
No, this is phenomenal. I mean, yeah, they could call when it's not holding and they're hand checking and hand fighting. I love that they didn't make a call here.
Yeah. The less he kind of gets turned around there. You want to be on the other side a little bit, but see Sutton gets in trouble because he leaves his arm there.
Yeah.
If he tries to take his arm away more violently, he may get the call.
You see, though, he's looking back. Sauce is looking back there.
Which is a huge key.
Which is huge. I mean, I know he ends up turning around and putting his hands through his hands, but he's looking.
Yeah.
That's a big key. He's not just face guarding the whole time.
Right. And you know how hard it is to look back from that angle? Usually you're going to look back from the inside.
Yeah, he did good. Someone said, or was it? I know people, it's all Zach Wilson comments.
Is it?
Hey, listen, I'm not like complete just, Dread's truther, Zach truther, but, I said some things I think he should work on. I just think people don't realize he's not playing against the Detroit Lions who are giving up 35 points a game.
No,
they're top.
Patrick Surtain and who's the safety? Jeez, I forget it. Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons and Surtain are ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think people realize what they're going against.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough when we play the Patriots the way they are. They're going to make Zach beat them. That's how
Belichick.
it is.
Yeah, Belichick's good. It'll be interesting to see what he does because the last 2 games have been really relaxed defenses. And usually you'll do the opposite against Wilson, where you stack the box and try to stop the run and dare him over the top. I wonder what Belichick does. It'll be interesting.
Like I said, our defense is intact, and they are balling right now.
They are
playing awesome, and because of them, that will keep us in pretty much every game the rest of the year. I mean, Buffalo's going to be tough. Some of the teams we play is going to be tough, but I can't see us not being able to handle majority of the teams the rest of the way.
No, this organization is doing the right thing. They have found the process. And this is true no matter what happens the rest of the way. I mean, yeah, the injuries are tough. Take the day, take 48 hours if you have to, but try to do something different this time around. Try to hop on that optimistic train to see what happens.
Here's another one from Zach Davis. Why does it seem like all other quarterbacks have more time to throw? Is it scheme or Zach not calling right protection? What do you guys think? I think the projection is there. I mean, he can audible plays. I see him audible a little bit. Because once he made the audible, everybody makes the signal.
Which is a good sign, by the way.
There's other quarterbacks have more time. I think defenses are playing Zach a little differently. They're trying to put pressure on. Some teams, they don't blitz because their quarterbacks, they're blitzing, are better throwing on the run.
Yep.
You just don't blitz them because you actually want them in the pocket. But yeah, we are makeshift offensive line right now. So it's going to be tough. At least he's getting out of there and scrambling. I know he should get rid of the ball a little more, but it's part of going after a young quarterback. They are going to blitz him.
I'm not a huge PFF, Pro Football Focus fan, analytics fan, but the pass protection grades were good, which surprised Jets fans. Wilson, he sometimes bails the pocket when he shouldn't, and it makes you think the protection's not as good as it is. It wasn't great in Denver, but a lot of it was early where Denver guessed right in play action, and it yielded a free runner. So it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of guessing right defensively and Wilson bailing when he shouldn't, when he should stay in there and fire it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Someone may listen, Zach Wilson, do not play him in daily fantasy. I have tried because I want to say I won $1 million on DraftKings or FanDuel plug because I played Zach Wilson in a game stack with Garrett and Corey Davis. It's not going to happen. He is going to throw for 65%, 225 to 275 yards and 2 touchdowns, maybe 3 in the interception. This is what you're going to get right now. You know what I mean? So you can't go in there expecting some of these numbers that Josh Allen and Mahomes and all these guys are putting up. This is what you have, and it's good. I'm sorry, he's not going to win your fantasy league, but he is a very capable quarterback.
I did the same thing in one of my leagues where I'm struggling mightily. I had Wilson as my quarterback. This is not even daily, and I dropped him for Mariota this week, and that really didn't work out either. This is a good comment. Harrison Hollers, look across the league. Which quarterback is playing consistently? Just a few offenses. I mean, offenses are struggling this year across the league.
Yeah, listen, defense. These defensive schemes are tough that these guys are coming up with, and like I said, everybody's having their bad moments. I mean, look at Tom Brady. We put up 3 points versus Carolina. Look at this guy. Look at that guy. No quarterback in the league is perfect right now. You know what I mean? And here you go. Best quarterback in the league statistically, what goes 30 and 35 and 4 or 5 interceptions? Aaron Rodgers. How did he do versus us? You know what I mean? I mean, this is the guy who's statistically the best quarterback probably in the last decade, and they did nothing versus us. So yeah, everybody's having problems.
Wilson is struggling, but a lot of it is also designed game flow because the Jets defense is that damn good. As an offensive coordinator, you're not going to do anything risky. You're going to stay within the game flow, not make a mistake. And the quarterback's going to do the same thing. We have just a few minutes left. Get your final questions in for Wayne. Subscribe at Jets X Factor. Use discount code 80. Give us a 5-star review at iTunes. Share this on YouTube. All that good stuff. JetX Mobile on the App Store and Google Play. We should probably do that at the beginning of shows too, but I always forget.
Yeah. There's some great comments, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I love the questions. This way I can talk, because Robbie talks all the time and I don't get a chance to talk.
Yeah, and I'm waiting for the day one comment we'll get Wayne over the top. I want to see him not snap, but get in an uproar, so to speak. I'm waiting for it.
Last one. Return of the Jedi Rusty Spooner. Zach seems to be a fourth quarter quarterback. I kind of agree with that, the way they're coming back. So there's your positive. It's not how Zach's starting in the first half. It's how he's finishing out the games when need be, and us being 4-0 in his start. So there's that to be happy about, Jets fans.
Yeah, and with that, we'll end it on that note. Hey, therapy, Dr. Melfi. Think of Wayne Chrebet as your Northern New Jersey local therapist.
Yeah.
And tomorrow is a new day, folks. Yeah. And we'll be back most likely next Monday night after the Pats game, win or lose. I will be there. It is home, thank goodness. And then I think it's Buffalo, right? So they got New England, Buffalo, and then New England. Should be interesting. 3 divisional games coming up.
Yeah. So big win. We got to remember that we're 5-2. That's a big win out in Denver. Nice to see that.
Yeah, it
but,
is.
Listen, it's going to be tough the rest of the way. But there's certainly games we could win, and hopefully the ones that we're not supposed to win, we can pick some of them up, and playoffs are a possibility.
One more really quick one because it's a super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Big Ben investing. Zach looks worse than Darnold thus far. Am I wrong? What say you, Chrebet?
Zach looks worse than Darnold
so far.
Zach Wilson, is Sam Darnold even on a team?
He's in Carolina, but he's not playing. Yeah.
But Zach Wilson's fine. You look at 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and you're telling me there's how many worse than him? There's a lot of quarterbacks I'd rather not have than Zach Wilson.
Yeah. Listen, Darnold had a nice stretch at the end of his rookie year, but so did Wilson. Yeah. I wouldn't go to that length in comparing the two. So don't worry about it. Thanks for the super chat, but
all right.
Yeah, no need to go Darnold.
No.
Yeah.
Or Geno Smith. No, I'd rather have Zach Wilson than Geno Smith too.
Hey, Geno's balling out though. How about Geno?
Yeah. So thank you for everybody tuning in, and we'll talk after next week's win.
All right, Jets fans. We'll catch you later.